Tom Ledeen here, announcing the brand new Red Star polyester based performance mesh. So this is a performance mesh like your String Kings and your Hero mesh. The polyester material is it's a natural progression from nylon. There are certain companies out there who are very against the use of polyester. They cite reasons like, climbing ropes aren't made out of polyester. Well, cars aren't made out of Jell-O, but I still love Jell-O. Polyester is a great material. So these high tenacity polyester fibers, they're fantastic in weather. So they get wet. They're not truly hydrophobic, which a lot of people claim. They're fibrous, so liquids will pass through. The beauty is that they don't change. So if you dunk this in water, it's going to be a little heavier, but it's not going to stretch. It's not going to bag. It's not going to stiffen, and it dries very fast. So that's a good thing. A nylon mesh, a soft mesh, unwaxed, untreated in water, gets way heavier and then also stretches, and it just changes. You add wax to that and it can prevent the water from getting in, but the wax is what you're not worried about changing, and it does change. So polyester is a great material and consistent. I mean, it's as consistent a material in a Lacrosse mesh as you can find. I spent a lot of time waxing and dialing in my formulas, and I came up with a couple really good formulas. My face-off formula in particular was solid, and eventually I changed the name of that because it wasn't selling. People, not a lot of people face off, so I made that just my main mesh. But by that time, wax mesh was sort of dying, and there are still people who love it, and that's awesome because there are still companies that make it. So that's good. To compare Red Star mesh to some other ones, I have a piece of Hero mesh and Red Striker Hero mesh and a piece of String King 2S. I don't have a 3S, and I'm not comparing them to point out the inadequacies or how much Red Star is better. I think these are great products, and they are known in the lacrosse world. So Red Star being an unknown entity, people don't know anything about it. People know everything about these other meshes. These are very popular, and they're popular for a reason. But I'm going to compare some things just so you can get an idea without actually touching this. You can only get so much out of a screen. But I'll show you what's similar, what's different with these other meshes, and maybe that'll help you kind of have a better understanding of Red Star mesh. First off, diamond size. I went with a 16 millimeter, which is unusual. It's the perfect diamond size for me. In my opinion, perfect diamond size, period. 20 mil, those are big diamonds, and it's hard to get anything other than a shifty, rattly pocket. If you like that, 20 mil is great. And I do love a shifty pocket. I do love, the rattle, a little bit of ball feel. But I like the option of being able to lock it in if I want, or if someone doesn't like the rattle or the shift. 17 millimeter was what most of my soft wax mesh was. 16 is just a little better, in my opinion. It gives you that, it gives you the options, more options with your stringing. And honestly, even with a tight, locked in pocket, a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of ball feel, that feedback is awesome. And I think you'll appreciate it in this mesh. And it's easy to string. I don't consider myself a great stringer, but I've been able to string up a few of my sticks with this, one hit, and I'm like, yep, that's perfect. So to compare, 16 mil, slightly, just a hair above 16 mil by my measurements. East Coast Dye's Hero mesh is slightly under 15 to compare, So a little bit smaller diamonds, and String King is just about 15, right around there. Almost exactly 15, I think, by my measurements. Hero mesh is a semi-soft, and Red Star is a semi-soft. Hero mesh is real thin, and this is as well. I think Hero mesh might be a little thinner. 2S is thicker and heavier, but it's also, I don't know, what do they say? This is semi-soft? So they say semi-soft on the packaging, but I would call this a soft mesh. These two are stiffer. I've worked both of them in. Yeah, they're very similar in their softness, and the String King is quite a bit softer. What else? Weight. We'll do a little weight thing here. All right, guys. So a quick little Weight Watcher weigh in here. We'll start with String King This is String King 2S, comes in at 31 grams. And it's, like I said, it's the heaviest of the mesh, you know, and 31 grams is totally reasonable. Then the Hero, which is 25 grams. And Red Star, which is 23 grams. All right, so that's our weight. You know, 2S is in kind of a different class. It's a thicker mesh. So out of these three meshes, these two are the most similar: the Red Star and the Hero. The weight is very similar, 2 grams. The feel, semi-soft, very similar. Thickness, very similar. Diamond size, you know, that's where our difference is. It's about just slightly under 15, slightly over 16. So about 15, about 16. But very, very comparable pieces of mesh. All right, so pricing, my Red Star V2 mesh, or Red Star mesh, whatever you want to call it. I'm not even sure what I want to call it yet. Let's just call it Red Star mesh for now. It is on my website, redstarlacrosse.com, for $10. My margins on this are pretty small, a lot smaller than with the wax mesh. The work involved is obviously less. I don't have to wax it. You know, I'm not in this to get rich. I am not going to be making a lot of money on this. I just, you know, passionate about growing the game and offering good products for good prices. You know, $10 is an easy entry into the performance mesh arena. If you guys are thinking about it, but you don't want to drop a 20, you know, drop a 10. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me babble about mesh. Go check it out, redstarlacrosse.com. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Instagram, redstarlax. You can DM me, you can post a comment. You can post a comment below this video asking me questions. You can email me, tom@redstarlacrosse.com or tom@tomladine.com. They both go to the same place. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And thank you for watching. Check out my website. It's not a whole lot going on the website. It's just mesh. But, you know, pick up a piece if you're interested. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back with another video soon.